Collin Morikawa, 16 starts this year, a couple of runner-up finishes, but no victories. With more on Collin Morikawa and his current state of the game, let's bring back in Todd from TPC Southwind.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. He did make a strong FedExCup playoff run last season, finishing second behind Scottie Scheffler. Actually, at Eastlake, he had the low 72-hole score. It actually counted as a win for Collin Morikawa, according to the official World Golf ranking, but because of the staggered start, he finished second behind Scottie Scheffler in the actual Tour Championships last FedEx Cup. As for this season, well, we've seen some moments of frustration for Collin Morikawa. He has been solid, but he's also gone through 4 caddies now, and his last 2 starts, missed cut. Caught up with Collin today, and I asked him to summarize his attitude heading into the FedEx Cup playoffs.
A little bit of both. I think it depends where you're at in the rankings, right? So if you are in the top 5 or top 10 coming into the playoffs, you can kind of look at it slightly differently. But where I'm at, where I'm sitting, you got to make sure you survive in advance. So you have to kind of chunk them up. Say, look, we're at, St. Jude, FedEx St. Jude Classic, and you got to figure that out. How do you survive from 70 into 50? How do you survive from 50 into 30? And ultimately give yourself a chance to win the Tour Championship.
How would you describe mentally and emotionally this 3-week stretch for you guys?
It's a grind. It's been a grind. Once we hit roughly the Players, and then that kind of rolls into the Masters, and then that rolls into the PGA, and it kind of goes forth. It is all a grind, right? The months become very condensed. Our weeks become a lot shorter because you're putting so much time into that you want to get a little bit more out of that. But for the playoffs, it goes by very quickly. And like I said, every shot matters. It comes down to points, comes down to a half shot, a shot out there, and you just can't be willing to give out any of that because, at the end of the day, you do want to make it to the end.
Collin, what do you do individually to make sure that you're mentally fresh for this grind?
Nothing special, right? We've done it before. We've played 3 weeks. We've played 3 hard weeks before, and I think it's just making sure you do the right things in the prep. This week can be a hot week. The next 3 weeks can be very hot, humid, sweating a lot. So you just kind of step out there knowing you got to do the right steps. When you're out there, be effective with your practice. Get out, relax, reset.
I know the FedEx Cup is a major motivation, but there's another motivation next month, and that is the Ryder Cup. Do you feel like you have still something to prove these next few weeks that you should be back on that team?
Look, at the end of the day, great golf takes care of itself. And I know I haven't done that and I've made it harder on myself. But, look, I feel like I bring something to that team, hopefully, that, no one else can. And at the end of the day, like I said, good golf takes care of a lot, right? So depending where I put my focus, obviously a huge goal is to make that team. I want to be there. I want to be representing the red, white, and blue. I've done it in the past. And like I said, there's no other feeling like it. There really isn't, right? Stepping on that first tee wearing your colors. So I've got some work to do. But for me, it's proving to myself that I know I'm the golfer that I know I can be. So I'm getting back to that. Game's feeling a little bit better, and hopefully we can put it together for 3 weeks.
Thanks, Collin. Wish you the best.
All right, thanks, Todd.
Yeah, a calm but hungry attitude for Collin Morikawa as he enters the FedEx Cup playoffs. And as you can tell there, he is thinking about the Ryder Cup. Yes, his main focus is playing well each and every tournament in this playoff system, but it is also making sure that he can ensure himself a spot on that U.S. Ryder Cup team. I would say a couple of months ago, it was just about a certainty that he was going to be on that team, given his ball striking. He's currently 8th in the standings, but those 2 missed cuts in big tournaments, including that Royal Portrush Open, has maybe put a little bit of doubt. It's likely he's going to be on that team, but it is not an absolute. He's going to have to still prove something over the next few weeks.
FedEx Cup playoffs, Ryder Cup talk. Certainly love this time of year. Tilu, appreciate the insight. Look forward to talking to you on Wednesday.
You got it.
All right, guys. What do you think here, Eamon? This is a player who I think, as Tilu mentioned, would have been a lock earlier this season. Had a really strong spring. Statistics have been very good. Skidding of late. Would Keegan Bradley possibly leave off a player of Collin Morikawa's ilk who is currently scuffing a little bit?
It would be a heck of a choice if Keegan picked himself over the guy ranked number 6 in the world. And in a way, that's the problem Keegan faces right now, is that the more guys who play well to put themselves into the conversation but without being in that top 6, Cameron Young being a prime example of that. You've got a guy like JT, a proven team player as well. Patrick Cantlay, arguably the best player in Rome a couple of years ago for the Americans. And then obviously Morikawa, at number 6 in the official World Golf Rankings. All of those guys have a lot of stature. They have a lot on that CV and resume to put themselves in the mix for a Ryder Cup pick. It makes it all the more difficult for Keegan to make a decision, even if he's playing well, even if he's totally justifiable as a pick himself. It makes that decision a lot more loaded. It makes the blowback much more predictable and inevitable on that, particularly if he doesn't deliver inside the ropes at Bethpage Black. And I think that just adds to the potential pressure on him that week. Again, as a European, I wouldn't necessarily object to seeing that happen. But Morikawa is an intriguing case here because, you know, he's only had 4 top 10 finishes this year. He's normally good for twice that in the last few seasons. He hasn't won in a couple of years. It is grating on him a little bit. We saw his little tete-a-tete with the media after he declined to speak after losing that Sunday at Bay Hill, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. I don't think it's a knock on him at all. I mean, you're number 6 in the world without having won much in the last few years. He's won basically one tournament in the last 4 years since the Open Championship. That, to me, is testament to the kind of consistency that Collin Morikawa brings to this tournament. At Bethpage Black, not going to be the longest guy in the world. He's not necessarily the strongest guy in the greens, although he's certainly made some progress on that. But there aren't many guys out there who hit it closer going into those greens. Yeah, that was certainly a point of emphasis, particularly for Collin Morikawa, who really struggled at Royal Portrush in the Open Championship, just hitting iron after iron after iron in the tournament practice area, trying to get that part of his game dialed, because he's one of the most accurate players on the PGA Tour. We all know that. But if his proximity to the hole is not as sharp as it has historically been in his career, he's really just going to struggle. He's a very streaky putter, as he has been for the majority of his career. I always chuckle at the idea that we have to crown these guys now, or we have to pick these guys now. There's a reason, Eamon, that they don't make these picks until after the Tour Championship. That's 3 more weeks of high pressure, big tournaments against the very best players on the PGA Tour. There was this rush to put Keegan on the team after the Travelers Championship in June. There was a rush to put Chris Goddard on the team after what he did across the pond. We still have time for Collin Morikawa. And if I'm Keegan Bradley and I'm sort of diagnosing and sort of identifying potential players I would want to have on my team, I'm putting faith in Collin Morikawa finding something over the next month and a half, because you don't want to be playing your best right now. You're trying to project and forecast who's going to be playing the best in a month and a half's time at Bethpage Black. And I still think Collin Morikawa's skill set can be very complementary to some of the other players on the U.S. team. So you're arguing that Collin Morikawa's skill set is not sort of outweighed by Cameron Young having won the New York State Open at Bethpage Black 8 years ago? That's exactly what I'm saying. Although I do think Cameron Young should be on that U.S. Ryder Cup team as well. Well, we do have a certain recency bias in this game these days. We certainly do.